A reading from the Gospel of Luke. Great crowds were traveling with Jesus, and he turned and addressed them. If anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry his own cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Which of you wishing to construct a tower does not first sit down and calculate the cost to see if there is enough for its completion? Otherwise, after laying the foundation and finding himself unable to finish the work, the onlookers should laugh at him and say, "This one began to build but did not have the resources to finish." Or what king marching into battle would not first sit down and decide whether with 10,000 troops he can successfully oppose another king advancing upon him with 20,000 troops? But if not, while he is still far away, he will send a delegation to ask for peace terms. In the same way, any one of you who does not renounce all his possessions cannot be my disciple. How far would you be willing to go as a follower of Jesus? Although we might not be in the situation of losing our lives, would you be willing to be persecuted by the world around us? Or be subject to gossip? Or being made fun of behind our back? Maybe lose a friend? Or even worse, lose a family member, all for the sake of being Jesus' disciple? That's what I think is going on when Jesus says something almost unthinkable, hating our family. It's probably the hardest saying from Jesus in all of the Gospels, and I have heard many people so offended by this saying that they don't believe Jesus said it. Or, if he did say it, the word hate is mistranslated. It even made Matthew uncomfortable enough that he softened it by saying, "Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me." Matthew 10:27. As religious scholars point out, the fact that it makes us so uncomfortable makes it highly probable to have been said by Jesus in the flesh. After all, there is no reason for an evangelist telling the good news of Jesus to have him say, hate one's family. It would be the last thing a gospel writer would want to put in a gospel. Add the fact that this saying is verified more than once, i.e., in the Gospel of Matthew and Luke, religious scholars would rate it highly likely to be historically verifiable. So knowing this, other than trying to be as provocative to those hearing Jesus teach, what in God's name was he trying to convey when he said this? If we approach the saying from Luke's community, it's very evident by the year 85 that many family members were not accepting Jesus as the Messiah. The differences between those following Jesus and with mainstream Jews were to the point that there was no turning back. There were many arguments and probably many screaming matches over their differences, even to the point that a person might say the unthinkable, "I hate you." And that's what I think Jesus is saying here to Luke's community. Part of being a follower of Christ means losing everything, potentially even our own family, to the point where we might feel hatred towards even our family and friends. Even though it might seem reasonable to want to soften it like Matthew's gospel does, those feelings can be 100% accurate. So there should be no reason to soften them. So that's what we can get from today's gospel. How far would you be willing to go as a follower of Jesus? Would you be willing to sacrifice everything for Christ? Your life? Your friendships? Or even your family?